This episode is brought to you by the Ultimate Girls Trip. Here is our reoccurring daydream. Us at a drool-worthy pool, surrounded by our business besties. We just finished a powerful exercise on building our dream lives and executing our business goals. Join us if you are ready to be celebrated for taking up space, to feel purposeful, and to live a life of fulfillment. Go to proofitspossible.com for more info. Welcome to Proof It's Possible. Jamie and I are multifaceted entrepreneurs, the founders of the Ultimate Girls Trip, and the hosts of Proof It's Possible. Jamie and I are also sisters, best friends, and complete opposites, but somehow we always manage to stay on the same team. Join us every week to hear our thoughts on all things entrepreneurship, friendship, family, pop culture, and more. Hello, welcome back. Today we are going way off topic, but we are truly touching on one of our passions that
something that is near and dear to our hearts.
Yes, important things. It's
life-changing, really.
Yeah, life-changing. It's called Love is Blind. It's on Netflix. We don't get any royalties from the show, but we just thought, you know what? Basically, the way I described it to Jamie is I'm like, my need to talk about Love is Blind on the podcast is because I love the show so much. I'm so fascinated by the show that I don't really watch a lot of TV. But when I like a show, I will quit my life. I will quit my job. I will not be present for my husband. I will do anything it takes to get those episodes crushed. So,
and I'm here to tell you I have never folded more laundry in my life.
Exactly. And I've never worked out as much because I always pair it with working out.
I always pair it with folding laundry, and usually we have baskets and baskets of laundry because I'm like, I hate the job. But when Love is Blind has a new season out, I am like a junkie. Like I am on that laundry. Someone gets their pajamas on, I'm like, ooh, let me scoop in and grab that and wash it up for you.
You're like, you know what?
Catch up on another episode.
You go around the house and grab all the hand towels from all the bathrooms just to make another load. I get it.
Absolutely.
So I want to start with first of all, I just find the show to be smart. I find the show to be fascinating. And I love that the producers have figured out a way to captivate people's interest and keep us so hooked. So they always bring, and obviously some seasons are better than others. This one is incredible.
Juicy.
Yeah, it's pure juicy. So, and this is the thing. I'm the first to be watching the show to be like, these people are being misrepresented. I know they're not as emotional as this in their regular lives. I get it. I get that it's made for TV. I get that they're snipping and clipping all the little good parts that, you have one moment, you say something, but let's just take it the way that the producers are displaying the content. And the show is so good and so juicy that I'm creating new friendships.
All I can say about it,
what?
Other than a million other things, is that thank God, thank the good Lord above that I didn't have a show or something like this to apply for when I was single.
Why? You would have went on?
Oh, I absolutely would have went on something like this, and I would have humiliated myself for sure.
Why?
Because sometimes I question whether they actually want love or they just want to win. And I love to win. So
totally.
I could have been completely mismatched, but been like, oh no, I will beat Jenny in the pot over. If her love interest is even
you'd say it and do anything to be
oh yeah. Oh, and think about yourself in your 20s when you truly think you know everything and you actually know nothing. And you think you have all this life experience under your belt. And so you do and say things that you look back on and are like, oh, how humiliating for me. I just can't imagine that being televised. And I'm
in dating. Plus the world of dating is already so emotional, so vulnerable, so raw. So you're at your psychotic, your most psychotic in that storm
and then you're getting fed alcohol and temptation and
totally,
all the things that they're throwing at you, like what are the producers planting seeds about?
Yes, absolutely.
Whatever.
Absolutely. Well, in the way that they push them right onto a holiday together and it's paradise. And of course, things are like great, but then they overserve them alcohol so that things aren't that great. Like, because even the like strongest couples can drink too much and have an absolute blowout fight. Like that's just
oh, and then like the pillow talk at the end of the night when they're like all slurring and they're like, you didn't pay enough attention to me. I saw you talking to her. I saw it. Like, exactly. That they're gonna hate themselves in the morning. But man, I can't stop watching that train wreck. I cannot.
Me either. I honestly stop. I can't stop. And like to the point, I'm making new real friends outside of it because we're bonding via Instagram messaging that we're then taking to like phone calls. I'm like, you know what? This would be easier if we called each other. Let's take our friendship offline so that we can talk about this. Like no business thing, no personal life story has ever taken me onto a phone call with some of these people. I'm jumping on phone calls. Like, do I start a support group for myself? What do I do?
And the other thing for me is that, like, I'm just thinking about it. Curiosity would get the cat.
Oh.
Like, I would be so curious. If I'm chit-chatting with Michael, even if I think he's a raging psycho, I still want to know what he looks like. Don't you?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Because this is the thing. I love the premise of picking someone for who they are on the inside. I love it.
Yes.
However, do I think in life that looks don't play a role? No, I think they do. I like for everything. I think that people that look a certain way, like there's a statistic that like the president or CEO of like a publicly traded company has a full head of hair. He's a man. He's 6 feet tall. He's, like this is who the way that the person looks helps them get that job. Mm-hmm. So to think that your like love partner, the way that they look just cannot matter. I want it to not matter, but it does matter. Everybody has like a type. Everybody has things they prefer over other things.
But what she's saying is love is not blind. Love is not blind.
In my life, love is not blind. No, I'm saying I like the idea of it being blind and falling in love first and then the whole, but you'd be so curious.
What do you do? What do you do if the man that you love is like a 0 in your like attraction?
Doesn't match any of your, I don't know. I think that you'd be so much more open to the person. You know what I mean? Like if you just saw them at a restaurant, you'd be like, not my type. And then you wouldn't even know one thing about them. But if you already knew everything on their insides was like your type, I think you'd be in such a challenging position to challenge yourself to like think differently and to do it differently this time. And the thing is, none of these people have found their person. So what they're doing in the real world isn't working.
No, I realize this.
You do have to be like open to the like social experiment of it. Like I think it's amazing. I don't
honestly, curiosity would kill me to the point where like even if I didn't like the person, I knew it, we are not compatible, we are not a match, I still would need to know what they look like. Like when I am watching like a real life story or like a movie based on a real life story, the first thing I do, like while watching the documentary, I Google the real life person because I need to know what they actually look like. I don't know why, but like my imagination needs to know so that when I'm doing it all in my head, I have an accurate picture of the person.
Of the real person. I agree. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how many liberties are they taking here on what the real person's really looks like, what they act like, what they, all the things.
Yeah. And like the real MVP of this show or like the real winner in it all is the person who doesn't get shown. Like, cause there's lots of couples that just don't get featured on the show, but they still got to participate. But then they get to come to the like follow-up party where they get to see everybody, but they're not
totally
filmed. So you can, all your bad behavior can still stay behind closed doors. That's the
position I want to be. You figured out, you hacked the algorithm to get in on the action, but not be featured.
Absolutely.
And the other thing is, I don't love when, like, I love the one girl, and I think her name is AD.
Yeah.
I love that when the guy brought up looks, she's like, no, we're in an experiment that's supposed to not be about looks. So I'm not going to tell you what I look like or explain anything or whatever. And I didn't think it was a wise move on the one girl, I think her name's Chelsea, who gave like a celebrity lookalike. Because I'm like, whether you look like her or you don't, you're breaking the point. Like you're not doing what you're supposed to do there, which was to fall in love based on no looks. So for me, that was just almost like a little cheat. Mm-hmm. But it also sets something up in the person's mind that is either true or it's not true, but it sways their decision. Like,
well, and in his case, in my opinion, he felt a little disappointed because she maybe overshot.
Well, he said he did. He said he did. And like, that's exactly it. Like it was, and so that's the part that it's like, the whole point was to not tell what you look like. So don't tell what you look like, you know, like.
Oh, and I think Jimmy boy, he selected her because he thought he was getting Megan Fox. Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, that's a beautiful, very, very beautiful.
And you know what? So. As a manipulative woman, I see her. Like, if I was toe to toe with another contestant, I'd be dropping shit like that too. I'd be like, listen, I didn't want to say it, but I look like Megan Fox. So
yeah, exactly.
Whatever it takes to win.
Yeah, you're like, I'm a 10. Just so you know, I'm a 10, and I've seen the other girl too. And anyways, whatever, she's fine, but I'm
so I mean, I sometimes question people's motives on that show. They all claim to be there for love.
Of course. Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I don't even remember this guy's name, but he was basically like talking about himself as like the villain or not the villain and how America would see him. I'm like, whoa, are you on a TV show or are you on? And I know he's aware that he's on a TV show, but I'm like, you're already like making yourself into a character on TV. Like just be yourself. Aren't you here to be yourself? So talking about it like that, I found to be like really strange, but.
Is that Michael?
I think so. I never remember their names.
He was that weird dude that like walked out on girls and like when he had a list of questions and when they asked the question back, he's like, oh, I don't actually answer questions.
I don't answer them back. Right. I liked his idea of having questions though, because he asked some like interesting things that I was like, oh, that's a great question to ask. That's a great question to ask. Because I do wonder, I mean, I'm a chatterbox, but after that many dates in a room that's like zero like distraction, I'd be like, okay, thanks. I already asked about your family and your upbringing.
Well, and I also think that the producers give a list of questions too. Like I think
they must.
Their book is full of their little notebooks, just not empty blank pages to write a novel about Jessica or Jimmy. They've got like prompts in there to be like.
I will admit something. When I was online dating, I did keep notes because when you are like chatting with multiple, you do need like a little bit of a ledger to be like two brothers grew up in Calgary or whatever the like.
Like I hate to break it to
you never online dated, so you were like
these things about the guy. You're just not that into him.
You don't.
Let's bring that book back. You're just not that into him.
I wasn't because I didn't know if he had two brothers or not. Yeah. And when I was like, so when's your sister's wedding? And he's like, I don't have a sister and I don't know what you're talking about. That's when I got myself the journal and started writing in it.
Yeah, so you did it to just keep your own lies and your own bullshit straight. So you wouldn't incriminate yourself that you were on 17 other dates the day before. You're like, oh, right. Sorry, Shane. That was Sean.
The day before, the lunch before, the meal before. But this is the other thing. I agree with you wholeheartedly about the competition element because as I'm watching, I'm like, I think to myself, like, my goal might be, if I was on there, to, like, I actually think, okay, Netflix, you're welcome for a new idea. But what if there was only one girl or one guy and like a bunch of girls or a bunch of guys? And
but they thought,
yes, but they thought that there was like, and basically they went and I mean, I haven't totally knocked out my idea yet, but
I think they call it The Bachelor.
Still in production.
So ABC's got it covered. You're fine. Go ahead, share your idea.
No, but they don't really realize that there's like, I do wonder maybe there is even multiple girls, but if the competition was actually not to like get married at the end, but to the winner, like make it a real competition, was the one that had the most people picking them. You know, Love is Blind like pushes people to pick their number one so that it leads to like a relationship and then it leads to a marriage. What if it was just to win over the most hearts? And that's how you actually won. Like it was basically like speed dating where the more like check marks you got, or like the person's like, I like your number, you win like
$1 million.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I mean, I think that would be a good show too. I would watch
that would be such a juicy show. They all think there's like 30 girls behind the curtain.
Netflix, I will be the host. Me and Jamie will be the host of that.
Yeah, so we will.
Let us know. Get rid of Nick and Vanessa.
Okay, this is the other thing. They do kind of need to get rid of them, but because I find them wildly awkward. What about you?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I read Jessica Simpson's book, and the things she says about him made me like look at him differently. So,
I've never read a book. But I might. I just find them really awkward. But besides that, I don't appreciate how, maybe this has always been a thing. I don't watch a lot of TV, but like you can't just power out and watch the whole season. I don't like that they're doing these like, markers where only next 5 episodes don't come out till then. That's terrible.
Yeah,
that's against the premise of Netflix. Isn't Netflix's whole idea is that you can like sit down to an entire season commercial free?
Yeah, but because I was like late to Love is Blind and there was 3 seasons there before I could even get into it, I got the first 3 seasons just open book. Like I could just
crush them.
watching. And I loved that. But this is sort of the first one that I've been like interested in enough that I watched the day it came out. Like I was like, okay, these people are interesting. So I don't know. I think that I get it. Like I get why they're doing it because the ratings are probably phenomenal.
Do you think any of them walked down the aisle?
No. And you know what? When they were on their like vacation, I thought to myself, none of these couples are making it.
Oh, interesting.
And just so everyone knows, as we are filming this podcast, we have no idea. It's still in the middle of the season, so we're just like waiting for the next episode.
Our guesses here. I think that one couple works out.
Do you? What couple?
AD and the guy.
Really?
I don't remember his name. Yeah. If I was to guess. I don't think it's gonna last past a couple of years of marriage, but
that's your really hopeful wish for them. Yeah, I don't even think any of them get married for some reason. And I've never thought that. I've thought there's been because there's been some like really good, successful couples that seem like they've come from this. There's been some great seasons of people
There's been one couple.
No, I forget the people's names, but they lived in Seattle, and she one of them had to move from either Seattle.
Was she like a blonde girl?
That's the same season, but yes, they're still married. But there was another couple on there, and he designed shoes.
Oh yeah.
And they were a great couple.
He worked for like Nike or something, didn't he?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. He like designed shoes for Nike or something. Like I thought he was a great.
The couple I'm thinking of is the couple from the very, very first season, and I was like, "There's no way this one's gonna last," because he seemed a little too nerdy for her. But they're making it work. I think it's been like 8 years or something.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, anyways, it has me captivated, you guys. If anyone needs a support group around Love is Blind to talk about it.
Yeah, and if anyone just wants to chit-chat about it, just reach out to us. We're always
be my friend about it. I want to be friends with people that care about it.
Yeah, same.
Do you want to know what my proudest thing about Love is Blind, though? Darren hates that kind of TV. Hates it. Will not do it. And he's like, I'm going to watch something else. I'm going to read. I'm going to look on my tablet or my phone while we're like watching it, or I'm watching it. And the next thing you know, out of the corner of his eye, he's like, okay, so these two are like getting along, or what's going on with them now? And I'm like, oh yeah, I converted you. And now we can
I'm not there yet. So Netflix, please keep coming out with seasons, because I still have to get Ray on the Love is Blind.
Broken down.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you want to be our friend about it, write us on our social media and let's chat. Let's honestly, Facebook private group. I don't know. Something. I need friends. I need to talk about this.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. We are so grateful you're here.
It would mean the world to us if you'll subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel and leave us a review.
If you want to hear more from us, go to proofitspossible.com to join our mailing list and find our social links so you don't miss a thing.
Thanks, and chat next time.